All right, let's talk about something that feels like pure sci-fi, but it's happening right now. AI is promising to give us back our most precious resource, time. So the big question isn't if we're getting that time back, it's what on earth are we going to do with it? Let's dive in.
Now, seriously, think about it for a second. What would you actually do if you suddenly had an extra 3 hours in your day, every single day? Would you pick up a guitar, spend more time with your family, finally write that book you've been thinking about? This isn't just some fantasy question. It's the core promise of the AI tools showing up everywhere. And, the folks selling us this AI stuff, they're not wrong. We're already seeing it, right? Meeting notes that write themselves, memos drafted in a blink, all that tedious work just disappearing. They're all talking about efficiency and hours saved, and it's really happening. But there's a catch. And this is where we see this old pattern kick in. It's happened way before AI was even a thing. Whenever we get more productive, we don't actually kick our feet up and relax. Nope, we just find more stuff to do. We fill that extra time, that margin, with more work. Our always-on culture just eats it up. And we're about to do the exact same thing with AI unless we make a different choice. So this brings us to what's called the paradox of time. It's this super interesting and, frankly, kind of frustrating idea. Let's dig into why all these time-saving gadgets don't actually make us feel any more free.
Okay, check this out. On paper, the average US worker actually works a little bit less than they did back in 2000. So you'd think, great, we must feel more relaxed, right? But it's the total opposite. More and more of us say we feel rushed, distracted, like we're constantly running out of time. So what is going on here?
Well, the answer, it turns out, isn't really about our work hours. It's about what we do when we're not working. We have, on average, about 5.1 hours of leisure time a day, but look at how we're actually spending it. More than half of it, just watching TV, and a huge chunk is just scrolling, mindless, fragmented scrolling on our phones. The quality of our free time has been totally tanked.
And there's a perfect name for this: time confetti. Isn't that a great term? It's all those tiny little bits of time, a minute here, 30 seconds there, that we spend flicking through our phones. They feel like little breaks, but they don't actually restore us. They don't help us focus. They just disappear, like confetti in the wind.
And here's why. Get ready for this number. Our average attention span when we're looking at a screen is now just 47 seconds. Let that sink in for a second. 47 seconds. Back in 2004, it was 2.5 minutes. We are literally training our brains to lose the ability to focus.
And what's crazy is, our culture kind of celebrates this. Being busy has become this weird badge of honor. If you don't have any free time, it's seen as a sign that you're important. We've turned time scarcity into a status symbol, and it just keeps this whole exhausting cycle going.
Okay, so let's talk about the real cost of all this business. Because this isn't just about feeling stressed out as individuals. This has a huge price tag for entire companies when we confuse just being in motion with actually making progress.
Yeah, this is so much bigger than just personal burnout. When an entire organization starts to think that being busy is the same as being effective, the whole system starts to get sick. And the consequences? They are serious. The big, important projects, they get stuck because everyone's putting out small fires. Morale just plummets. People start leaving. And decision-making, it goes from being thoughtful and strategic to just reactive. And maybe the worst part is that creativity, the very thing you need to survive long-term, just dries up. And here's the scary part. If we don't change how we work, AI is just going to pour gasoline on this fire. Getting a draft of a report in seconds just means your boss is going to ask for 10 more drafts. The time we save with automation, it's just going to get sucked up by more emails, more meetings, more shallow work. I mean, think about the cognitive costs of this. Research shows it takes up to 20 minutes to get your focus back after just one single notification pops up on your screen. What we call multitasking is actually just task switching, and it makes us slower, it makes us dumber, and it makes us way less effective. Okay, so how do we get out of this mess? The answer isn't another app or a new piece of software. It's a completely different way of thinking. It's a shift toward what the source material calls stewardship. This is really a leadership challenge. It's about making a conscious choice to use AI differently, not just to do things faster, but to intentionally carve out and protect space. Space for deep thinking, for real innovation, and for the human connection that actually drives progress. And the source gives us a really practical way to start, a 30-day challenge. First, remove the noise. Just delete the distracting apps from your phone.
Second, defend your boundaries. That means scheduling specific times to check your email, not just reacting to it all day. And third, set timers. Give a project a defined amount of time and your full attention. These are simple habits, but they can help you start taking back that precious margin. And all of this brings us to the big, fundamental choice that AI is putting right in front of us. And this isn't really about technology. This is about our values.
I love this line from the article. Efficiency is inevitable. Wisdom is optional. Just let that sit for a minute. AI making us more efficient? That's going to happen no matter what. But whether we use that efficiency wisely, well, that's up to us.
And that's the real takeaway here. In this new era of AI, a great leader won't be measured by how many minutes they shave off a task. They'll be measured by how they use the space that AI creates, by investing that time in the deep, human work that machines can't do. So I'll leave you with the same question we started with, but maybe it hits a little different now. AI is coming. That extra time is coming. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it?